Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so today we're going to so the boundary thing. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about boundaries. Okay? Here's the thing. We all live in this multi-dimensional fractal ecosystem, and we all have a purpose, a place, and an offering for humanity. It is our job to figure out what that offering is. This is where it gets tricky, is because we have this program that says this is what's required of you. If you don't fulfill it, you are shameful. Can't imagine how things could go wrong. So rather than say to everybody in your life, I demand this of you, say, are you willing? Are you able? Are you capable? Because sometimes people are not capable of doing things. So stop asking them to do it. When we stop forcing and demanding of everybody else, we get to stop forcing and demanding of ourselves, which automatically creates these magical things called boundaries without having to forcefully do anything. Because if you're not requiring of anybody else, or everybody else, I should say, things that they're not willing to do, things that they didn't come here to do, things that they did not sign up to support humanity with, forcing them into those modalities of existing, again, whatever it is, some people love carrying mail. Some people live to, mop floors. Some people love doing that. Let them. Some people love exploring the world and figuring things out. Some people want to help others in the process of dying. Some people want to help others in the process of getting to know their bodies on a deep, intimate level so they can be a better person in the world or be a better partner. Okay, I'm talking about tantric. So when you have these modalities that you're shaming for existing, and then you're screaming at your significant other that they're not doing this, that, and the other thing to please you, maybe it's not their job to do so. Ooh, was did did I just sense some scorched bum hairs? That's what I'm saying, is like we force people who don't want to have romantic relationships into romantic relationships. Maybe they want to have like a platonic relationship. Maybe they just want to have a working relationship. Because we keep forcing things on people. Well, I desire this from you, so you're now obligated to give it to me. For those of you who are not paying a whole lot of attention to that sort of aspect of humanity, let me tell you, the label for that particular mentality is slavery. When you are forcing people to do things that they don't want to do, that's slavery. Okay. And this is when you, okay, this, everybody's getting all puffy about, kids don't want to do this, kids don't want to pick up their room, kids don't. Yeah, because like we push the slavery so far. Well, God, I can't remember the monk's name, but he had like he had a string of beads, but we're gonna use my pendulum. Okay, so when you push so hard in one direction, okay, that's not sustainable. Okay, how long can you hold that position? I mean, we could hold this a while, but like, how long can we really sustainably keep this here and not have to go to the bathroom or eat or drink or stretch our bodies? How long can we hold this pose for? Not very long. You know what happens? It comes back this way. See how that works? Okay. So that's the energy that we're dealing with right now. Is we have forced humanity to do things that the vast majority of humanity was not up for doing, and they weren't allowed to find their place in the multi-dimensional fractal ecosystem. And now we're dealing with a whole slew of people trying to literally get slavery out of their system. And then you have a bunch of podcast bros screaming at the wrong faces yet again about how humanity is supposed to conduct itself. Dude, we didn't do this to ourselves. Yes, we might have allowed it to happen, but in a lot of cases, especially in the past, which is also coded in our DNA and our bones, that's all junk DNA, lady. The Nazi white coat said so. Okay, well, let's just for a moment, for a sake, entertain me for a hot second. When you have a whole slew of thousands and thousands of generations that are programmed to believe this, programmed to be basically what they require to be a functioning robot with empathy to boot. Be a robot, but then flip that switch of emotion on so I can get some gratification out of this whole process. Okay? The idea is that energy works. It's going to work. Whether you like it or not, it's going to work. If you don't learn how to read the energy, yeah, life is going to be suffering. And they don't want you reading the energy. They don't want you eating the fruit off your own freaking tree. They don't want you to have a conversation with the snake that's literally like living in your own system. Okay? They want you to ignore those things so they can parasite your vital life force energies. It's the whole energetic pattern. Why else would you need to be so violent? There's no need for violence in any sort of situation unless you are looking for power and control, which you already know you don't have. Otherwise, you wouldn't need to use force to obtain it. Okay? So this whole slavery thing was obtained through force. Okay. Now we have a whole slew of people coming onto the planet that are like, you guys abolished, at least in the US, we abolished slavery years ago. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Slaving away to pay the things you slave away for to give to another massa. They got a point. They got a big, huge point, and it's gonna catch on right quick. So when we can come at boundaries, if you will, from a space of, I'm going to figure out what I'm supposed to do here. I'm going to figure out what sets me ablaze, okay? Then I'm going to go out in the world and do that. And yes, it's going to piss off every last one of the Agent Smiths roaming free. Yep. Absolutely. This is the whole point. If nothing else, darling, if nothing else, let your authenticity burn them. Okay? So, when you give from a place that's fulfilling, that's how you know. That's how you know it's for you. When it doesn't deplete you, but it energizes you, it inspires you, it creates almost like an invisible mechanistic propeller, I guess we could call it, that makes you want to do more, create more, think more. How can I do this better? How can I improve the system I have now? How can I put whatever I'm offering into the world to light more people up? Because your light is going to light others up. Now, there's people on the planet that don't want to be lit up, and that's their choice. But that's their choice to see that they don't have what it takes to be lit up. That's their programming. You're not going to change that. So what the hell you even care? Okay? Put your freak flag on and freaking whip it out every single all the time. Just have it readily available all the time. Just whip it out. Okay? If we get enough freak flags flying, we could really rock this planet. We really could. We could just like, it'd be freaking glorious. And there's people out there that don't want that to happen. Joy is the enemy to some people. And that's the reason why a lot of people are so afraid of it, is because people will see joy and actively seek to crush it because they have this mentality, this very sick state of existing, that they themselves don't have access to joy, so no one else should either. When in actuality, if they just pulled their blinders off and unplugged from the system and told the Agent Smith to go fuck itself, they could too start out on a pathway to finding joy. But it's so much easier to crush somebody else's joy and get that 5-second hit of whatever the hell secretion psychopaths get. It's easier to do that. It's easier to do that. It's easier to take the binky blanky away from whatever. It's easier to do that. It's easier to squash the innocence and just say, why aren't you at a corporation suffering the way I need you to suffer? Because what you're doing right now, standing up for human rights, it's so shameful. I'm clutching my invisible pearls. So when you find what lights you up, go do that out in the world and give it away unabashedly and say no to everything else. Ooh. So if you feel obligated, if somebody's pressuring you, oh, this is how we've always done it, you must obey and bow to my commands, and all of that master narrative crap, whatever it is, say no to everything else. Just say no to everything else except for giving the public that one thing. Then go from there. Say no to everything else. Everything. Every single solitary thing you give your energy to that does not light you up, say no to it. See how it works. Say no to it. If you know that there's like some, like dichotomy, how do I put this? So there's those things, those people, places, whatever you want it. Glue it to or perceive it, perceptually analyze it, whatever you want to do with it. Just realize that there's people, places, things that will give you the feel good, that will work their butt off to give you the feel good just to get in to siphon. Okay, so realizing that that's other people's operating systems, that they will actively seek to, maybe it's called love bomb, I don't know, either way, they will actively seek that out and put you into a state of comfort and security just so they could get in to like start chiseling away. Okay, so learn to see that as well, and learn to turn the no into a superpower. Because when you can say, I seem to notice a pattern here that's kind of ticking on some similar boxes from the past, so I'm going to hold off. I'm going to wait a long time, and maybe I'm just going to walk away because this isn't worth my time anymore. I'm going to wait because I have better things to do with my time than waste it on people that are just going to be kind or sort of enough for me to say, well, okay, you can have whatever the heck it is that the other thing is seeking, the other situation, person, place, thing, whatever, institution, whatever it is, right? So rather than doing that, say to yourself, okay, I'm going to prioritize, I'm going to say no to everything, and then I'm going to sit back and watch. I'm going to watch real close. I'm going to watch real hard and say, You know, this used to really intrigue me. This used to be something that was meaningful, useful, and touched some place in me that others kind of couldn't. And now I'm beginning to realize that the reason why that thing was, and this is kind of how the red pill community got to where it got, is because they already have the grip on them of, oh, we love you, we're here to support you, bro code, all this other stuff. They already have that program running. So they're programmed to be like, be the compassionate person, be the whatever it is, get the whatever, okay? Get them in the palm of your hand, and they're, okay? So just be leery of that as well, because just because they're giving you the feel good, or they're trying to give you the feel good, or they're making it look, they're good at making it look like they're giving you the feel good, and there's no meat on any of those bones. Okay, so that's when you pick up the bone and you go, what is this? What is this? And then analyze it a little bit and be like, okay, I get it now. I see the pattern that's playing out here. It's just a rebrand of a rebrand of a rebrand to try to, again, it's a parasitic nature that now has to figure out a way to better parasite. They have to readjust their sails. They have to recalibrate their entire skill set in order to get to whatever source they're getting to or trying to get to. So you have to keep a vigilant nature about that and remember those patterns. Remember how that energy feels, how it's made you feel in the past, what its obvious goal was, and come to the knowledge and assessment and agreement with yourself. This whatever institution, entity, whatever, has not changed. They're not here to do anything but do what they were doing before, just rebranded. Different face, different mechanisms, different modalities, different whatever, just to get what they still want. So that's another thing that society is going to have to let go of, is those modalities and the people and places, things that are still uplifting them, just trying to rebrand themselves. you can see it. It's tragically beautiful how they busting their ass to rebrand themselves as not red pill bros anymore, when in actuality I don't think the agenda has changed, just the way in which they recruit, the way in which they gain sympathy, the way in which they, dare we say, gain supply, sympathy, empathy. Let's just go supply, the way that they're trying to gain supply. Okay, so when I say no to everything, I mean I'm saying no to everything that does not fill. If this doesn't feel calm, serene, beautiful, wonderful, amazing, valued, and loved, that's the universe's way of saying that's not for you. Stop touching it. Stop touching it. Stop putting any sort of energy in that direction. We're telling you clearly and concisely through your sensation in your own skin, that's not for you. That is for something else entirely. Take your energy and your toys and your resources and your pentacles somewhere else, because that thing is not going to in any way, shape, or form be in your best interest. It's going to be yet another lesson. Okay, we don't need any more lessons. We learned those lessons. Okay, we're on the path to fulfillment, to cherishing the experience of being alive, rather than tormenting the experience of being alive. That's where the real shift is. Okay, we're finished being slaves. We're finished being manipulated and controlled. We are autonomous, sovereign beings And that does make us targets, because a lot of people do not have the gonads to go get that for themselves. They fear that they don't have access to it, which is why they need to seek it out and stomp it out. Well, the Agent Smiths can be Agent Smiths all they want. the, the program has stopped working for those of us who see through it. And so when you get to a state of existence where you're like, oh, I see where I was choosing that. I see where people, in my past told me that I wasn't worthy of joy. I wasn't worthy of feeling okay in my own skin. I wasn't able to access those points of modality because I was so inundated with all the stress, the trauma, the abuse, the lies, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the abandonment, the whatever the hell it was, right? I was so over and inundated with that I couldn't possibly see until I actually gave myself a break. And I referenced that. Breaking is when you let the light through and you get the thing out from its roots. Okay. Sometimes you got to stick the shovel real deep in that hole and just wiggle it back and forth till that root just pops right out. Okay. So when you can fiercely defend your own modality, your own, multi-dimensional fractal ecosystem, when you can learn to fiercely defend that, what you call in is unparalleled to anything you've experienced before. Pinky fucking swear. It's unparalleled. It's beautiful. It's magical. It's wonderful. It's the stuff life is supposed to be made of, because it fills you and it grants you access to beautiful, wonderful, amazing places and spaces, and all of which are on the inside, and then they start to come in on the outside as well. And so when you dedicate yourself to the thing that you can give humanity, that you desperately want to give humanity freely, without the depletion that comes from when you're required to give what you can't, what you no longer are able to give, whatever the heck it is. And don't break this down into chores, okay? Because there's some people out there that are right now are like so fatigued. They're like, I can't fucking do the dishes today, and that's okay. That's fucking okay. If you can't do the dishes for the next fucking 3 days, that's okay. But eventually you're going to get, because you are in that fatigue state, you are going to get to a space where you're like, okay, I know exactly what it is. I know exactly. That's your chrysalis. That's the fuck this shit. That's the chrysalis where you're like, I cannot do the life thing until I get right inside my system. That's the fatigue. Okay. So once you get right in your system and you get so crystal clear, okay, not only do I see the need and the want and the empty space that's residing there, just waiting for me to step into it, I know exactly how to do it. I instinctively know my role. It's primordial. I do, and that's why they don't want you to touch it. It's dirty and dangerous and it's evil and all that other stupid shit. No, nope, it's primordial because it's your instinctual nature. It's what you came here to do. And that's why a lot of religious people are trapped in a lot of things right now. So drop the religious crap. All of it. It's chains, guys. It's just chains. Okay. And the devil's not going to let you through that portal. The devil's not going to let you through the gateway until you just... Okay. Put it down. I know. But look at where you're addicted. Look at where you've repeated crap in the past. Look at where your weaknesses are. Oh, so that's always been a thing for you? Did you want to look at that? Did you want to sit with that? Did you want to learn to tell that no? Did you want to learn to tell it no? Because you can tell it no. You can tell it no. You can tell the shame to go away. You can tell the blame to go away. You can tell the manipulation to go away. Gain access to what it is that's pulling on it. And you might have to go back to a few things that you don't like to go back to, just so that you can find that thread, so you can cut it. I don't need this. Why does it keep hanging on me? If this isn't required for me to exist here, why does it keep pulling? How did this get attached? And what the hell service is this serving me or anybody else, especially the person probably on the other side of the string? How is this even benefiting either of us? Oh, it's not. Kitchaka. Done. Finished. It is so easy. Once you realize that those chains and those strings and whatever else are just holding you back. They're not holding you to anything meaningful. And yes, I'm talking about people. Sometimes people are not supposed to stay. In fact, a lot of times people are not supposed to stay. You're not supposed to hold on to the things that keep burning you. Stop touching the hot stove. Burn the thread and walk away. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. So easy peasy. Okay? And that's, the other thing too is when we come into a space where we are like, ooh, okay, I have this primordial function and I am just filled with fire over it. Keepers of the flame. And now I'm able to tell systems, people, places, institutions, whatever it might be, that they don't have any, you are powerless here. People will perceive that to be highly dangerous. Okay. And those of us with witch wounds, hi tribe, how you doing? Love you. We're gonna have to really look at that primordial witch wound. Lilith just squared the moon yesterday, so we might be still kind of wiggling out of that mother wound that, instructed us to stay small, stay ignorant, stay whatever. Okay. So maybe today's the day to honor maybe the grandma or the auntie or the sissy sis or the soul sister that was like, hey, I see you. Let's play. Okay. Maybe now's the time to remember that energy exists all over the globe, and it is all pervasive, and it is primordial. It is our intuition. It is our divine right. It's our divine right that they've just robbed of us. They've shamed every single aspect of femininity. It's ridiculous. And I can't tell you the tragic repercussions for that are they don't get to have a Y chromosome anymore. Okay. They did a big fucking no-no. Big fucking no-no. Okay. And mother's going to take care of it. But what I'm telling you is you find the thing that sets you on fire. Give that freely. And everything else is a no. Everything else is a no until it's proven itself to be worthy of any sort of sacrifice. Ooh. And that is no small feat, especially in this day and age. This isn't thanks for snow blowing. That was nice of you. No, that's here's a Christmas gift. Have a nice year. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Like there can be give and take, but there doesn't need to be, oh, I'm willing to give up all of my life just for blah, 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 blah. No. No, I need to live by myself. Absolutely. Need to live, for the most part, by myself. On my own, able to do my own thing without anybody globbing onto my time and energy. And that's something that you honor about your existence. You don't have to start going, oh, so-and-so needs my energy for this. And so, no, we are on a time out, friends. This is Aquarius, the independent rebel who wants to oversee the communities coming together. And the only way the community comes together is when they get independent and they decide what they actually want to believe in their bones and make a conviction for themselves. And we're just at the beginning of the Aquarius. So yes, it is a massive Rona timeout. Okay. And as long as it feels to us, it's a blip in time as far as the cosmos is concerned. It's a little blip. Okay, so just remember that aspect. It's a little blip. And we're gonna, have to finish getting our little wings attached in our chrysalis. And we've got to make sure our little antennas are well tuned before we climb out of the chrysalis. Okay, we've got to do all these things while we are in this collective chrysalis. Okay, so decide now what it is that you light up for when you give. When you give and it is reciprocated and you feel alive, when you feel that in your depths of your bones, you're like, I could do this forever and everything would be great. I could do this forever. That thing, go do that and say no to everything else. Okay. Probably made quite a few Aquarians happy with that statement, but the rest of us had to get there a different way. Okay, so just, and then, be prepared. The pushback is going to be real, but the find out season is not worth it. We know that the find out season is not worth it. Let's not keep that show running, shall we? So, when I'm not saying get rid of your tea and your popcorn because we all know that's coming. But the way to get those perfect boundaries is only offer the things that really light you up. Now, I'm not saying, don't cook meals and don't do chores and whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when somebody calls you up and say, I need this, that, and the other thing. You're like, do you really? Can you do that for yourself? Is there somebody else in your environment willing and able to do this thing for you? And no, you don't abandon elderly people. Go help them. But I'm talking about the people that are actively trying to. See what I mean? There's a difference. There's a major, major difference. Don't get it twisted, okay? Still love and care for each other, but within reason, okay? Within reason, okay? Fiercely independent, but community orientated. That's Aquarius. All right. Until next time.